Okay, here we go. Live now. Say hello. Where are we going? Okay, we're going to YouTube. youtube.com/JackieM/live. Okay. Okay, guys, again, thanks so much for joining me. We are starting a couple of minutes early because I was trying to make sure I've got everything set up. I don't want people to tune in at 7 p.m. and find out like I'm still stuffing around. But okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about my curry paste, and I'm going to hold some up to show you. Some of these are a little bit red. Anyway, here we go. So sambal belacan, satay sauce, okay, and laksa. I have actually been tweaking them, at least insofar as the way they are packaged and all that as well, okay. And I actually these pouches, I'm running out of them, and I bought some new pouches. They look a little bit different. I think they look a little bit more elegant, okay, but you'll find out when I start using them. Okay, mild rendang, and there's a couple of other varieties. I don't have packs of them here today, but this is for those of you who don't know, this is my range of dry curry paste kits, okay. You see what I've done lately. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this because it is extra work, okay. Is actually separate, like segmented essentially components of the recipe, okay. So it looks kind of cute now, I think, okay. So that's the spices, there like the other stuff and all that, and then there's some like actual dried leaves, yeah, okay. So I think it looks kind of cool. Again, it does require extra work on my part, so I don't know if it's going to, I'm going to keep doing it, but at least for the time being, that's what I'm doing. But they actually taste, if you have one of the older packs or one of these, some of them I don't actually separate. Like this is the sambal belacan pack, okay, it's all combined, okay. And the laksa, I wasn't actually separate. I separated this batch, so you've got the chili on top and everything, a lot of the other stuff on the bottom, okay. Again, I don't know if I'll keep doing that. Whether it's separated like this or whether it's all mixed in, they taste the same, okay. It's the same recipe, it's just I tried to be cute to make it look like it's got layers and layers of stuff in it, which it does, because some of these packs have over 20 ingredients in them, okay. Now, a couple of things. First of all, you keep watching to the end, I'm going to give you a special offer, okay, for those of you who tune in and watch. I'm going to basically give you a question that you answer next time you order my curry paste, okay, and you get the answer right in the like, just put a comment in there, so I'll watch your live stream and the answer is whatever, and I'll add a special gift to your purchase, okay. No one's wondering what the hell's going on. Okay, so there's that, right? And secondly, I actually have seen in the last, oops, sorry, no, I just broke something, okay. Poor Paul's gonna have to deal with it. Okay, sorry about that. So what happens when you've got a kid in the house with special needs. But anyway, okay, so I actually saw two other brands of dry spice mixes. One on the shelves. Well, I actually saw it virtually because somebody recommended it on Reddit. I hang out a little bit too much on Reddit. Someone recommended it on Reddit, and it's a spice mix for Indian curries, okay. And you can get that at Woolworths. And I had a look at it, and I noticed that they cost $8 to $10 a pack, but they're only like between 39 grams and 59 grams I saw per pack. Okay, these packs are nearly 200 grams or even more, okay. The satay sauce is 300 grams, okay, and I sell them for Australian, essentially $17 a pack, okay. And you get special offers as well, special deals for buying them in bulk. And these are enough to basically to use on up to 2 kilos of protein, right? And the other thing that's different about them is the other types of spices that I've seen require you to add other stuff to your cooking, which can be a good thing, okay, if you want to control your what goes into your stuff. You want to control the salt level, the amount of other stuff and all that. or you know, you want to add some fresh stuff like fresh onion, fresh garlic and all that. My one has everything in it. Okay, so when you get one of these packs, don't go adding like sugar and salt, and don't go adding onion and garlic and everything else in them. They've got everything in theory. I mean, you can obviously adjust the flavors at the end. Okay, if you like a little bit more salty, say for instance, right, say my my hot rendang paste is technically meant for curry that's drier in vibe at the end. Okay, but you like a saucy curry, saucy rendang, right? What you would want to do is maybe just add a little bit more seasoning yourself. Okay, just use, you know, just apply some common sense when you use my paste. Okay, okay, so now that I've covered that, right, I'm not saying that the other products are better or worse or anything. I'm just saying that's how mine is different. Mine are designed so that the only thing you need is a bit of water and oil to saute this. Okay, you want to reconstitute this with a little bit of water, and then you fry it up with a bit of oil, and then you add your protein and add coconut milk water, and that's it. Okay, you simmer it. You don't have to add salt, you don't have to add sugar, you don't have to add onion, garlic, and all the 50 other different types of spices that may appear in any Malaysian, Southeast Asian curry. Okay, Malaysian at the moment. That's my focus. Okay, so what are we talking about today? Today, okay, you've seen me go live where I talk about like how to make, how to use my meat curry paste to make a meat curry, how to use my hot rendang paste to make a hot rendang, how to use my mild rendang paste to make a mild rendang, and that sort of stuff. And by the way, the mild rendang paste and the hot rendang paste are not different levels of heat for the same recipe. They're actually two completely different recipes. Okay, the mild rendang is very mild, and if you want extra chili, just add your own chili to it, but they will produce completely different flavored rendangs. Okay, there are lots and lots of rendang recipes in Malaysia and in the rest of the Malaysian archipelago, the Malay archipelagos, right? And these are two completely different recipes. Okay, this will produce a light colored rendang, and this will produce a dark colored rendang. Okay, so what we're going to do today, instead of me telling you how to make a laksa with my laksa nyonya paste and all that, we're going to actually, starting today, cover different ways to use these pastes that maybe are not what you would, you know, conventionally think they're designed for. Okay, and because I'm a solo business owner and and I don't have a marketing budget, I'm using basically essentially like leftover packs of my curry paste. Okay, so I had a pack of mild rendang paste where the label was slightly torn. Okay, so instead of like repackaging it and relabeling it and all that, I'm using it for my broadcast today. Okay, and because it so happened it was the mild rendang paste pack that was buggered up, we're using mild rendang paste in all our recipes today. Okay, so I've pre-recorded the video for you, so we're going to cover the three different things I did with my mild rendang paste. Okay, and if you've got any questions, like I said, hit me up, and if you've got any other suggestions on how you can use these, let me know as well. And full disclosure, I am very traditional in how I cook my stuff. Okay, when I think laksa is for making laksa, you're right. So all these different iterations are actually, you know, first of all, I use AI to give me ideas, and second of all, AI would have pulled the data from other websites. Okay, so I can't quite remember where this one of the recipes is from. It's from a food blog. Okay, but I think I would rather withhold mentioning who they are, because the recipe didn't quite turn out for me. Okay, and I'll explain why. Okay, so let's play the recording and then we can take it from there. Okay, if I can find it, here we go. Overhead, overhead, overhead. Okay, here we go. So for those of you who don't know, this is what my mild rendang paste looks like, and you see the picture on the top. That's what the rendang curry, the chicken rendang looks like once it's cooked up using my mild rendang paste kit. Okay, and when you open up the pack, these are the kind of ingredients that go into my mild rendang paste kit. There are a lot of different ingredients in there. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, I am going to play the video so you can see what I do, and I'm gonna maybe stop here and there to kind of and I thought I actually added the video, but where did it go? Okay, not here. Let me just add it again. Video file. Okay, so you're just gonna have to bear with me for a second while I add this, because this is going to be a little bit messy. Okay, here we go. Let me just stop this. That's what I wanted to do. I don't want it to play on scene enter, which seems to be, oops, the default configuration. Okay, and let me just move this down. Okay, here we go. So let's play this. Let's turn down the volume. Here we go. Okay. First of all, the first thing I wanted to do with this was actually to use it as a popcorn seasoning. And for this, I had to bring in Paul, because so those are actually Paul's hands, they're not mine. So with popcorn seasoning, I had to get Paul to pop his popcorn. I don't eat popcorn, right? But Paul is a popcorn lover, and he's always making popcorn in the kitchen. But anyway, while he's heating up some ghee in a pot to make popcorn, what I've done is opened up the pack of the rendang paste kit. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and I'm going to actually blitz all of this, because remember, they're all like, you know, they're all separated, and some of the chunks are quite big, right? So if you're using it as a seasoning, best course of action is to blitz it. Likewise, if you actually want to use it for other stuff than if you want to actually split it. I've had a few people ask me about this. Some people were saying, oh, okay, like I noticed each pack of your mild rendang paste has one piece of asam keping in it, which is the tamarind slice, but I want to be able to split this portion into 2 or 3. How do I do it? So the idea, I think one way to do it is to chuck it into a blender and actually just blitz the whole thing. Okay, so that's what we've done, and in the meantime the popcorn's still going away. But if you don't know how to pop your popcorn, what's that? Ask Paul. Don't ask me. Okay, but apparently the idea is to heat it up, and then you give it a good shake around the pot with the lid off to basically even out the heat distribution, and then you're going to cover it sort of and let it pop away. Okay, so I've blitzed the popcorn thingo, and what I want to do now, according to AI, I want to actually kind of like saute my spice mixture in a bit of butter. Okay, and in your butter I'm using ghee, because ghee doesn't burn like butter has the tendency to do. And I wasn't sure, yeah, so I actually dry roasted it first, and I wasn't sure if I should add the ghee, because I didn't know if it was going to make it all sticky and whatever, but we were going to go with AI suggestions, so this is what we're doing here. Okay, and you can see it just frying it away. And again, heads up, the left hand is Paul's hand. Okay, I don't have uneven hands here. I don't have one giant hand and one small hand. It's both of us at the stove cooking this away, okay, just to speed things up a little bit. And this is done in real time, by the way. It's not sped up or anything like that, so it will take a couple of minutes. But I don't know if anyone pops their own popcorn, because Paul being South African, apparently you can buy like popcorn, corn kernels everywhere, okay? But here in Australia, he really struggled to find it on the shelf at Woolies and all these other supermarkets, because apparently people don't buy whole kernels anymore, except at like specialty kind of like, you know, greengrocers and stuff like that. But here we go. So he's heated it up enough so that, you know, some of the corn started to pop, and he's taken it off camera to give it a shake. He didn't want to hold it up.
Yeah, take it off the heat for 30 seconds.
Take it off the heat for 30 seconds and give it a shake. Shake it around like that. And in the meantime, I continue to roast the spices. I don't necessarily think that's necessary, okay? I'm just doing it because what the hell? I don't really know what I'm doing because, like I said, I'm just going with what AI told us. Okay, so the heat's evenly distributed now, and he's put it back on the stove, and it's going to start popping. And in the meantime, I'm going to add some ghee to my roasted spices. And like I said, at this point, I was a little bit conflicted whether I should add the, you know, have more ghee in the popcorn and then just let them gently, you know, be coated by the dry spices, okay? But in the end, I decided to go with what AI told me. You can try either way, actually. So next time I do it, I might do it the other way. And yes, I know you can buy like these microwave popcorn thingers, but Paul is a little bit too rustic for that modern invention. So he wants to do it in a pot, okay?
Yeah, it's also the kernels are fresher. Like the popcorn just tastes better.
And guys, if you're watching elsewhere, say hello, let me know where you're watching from, okay? Like I said, I used to live stream 3 times a week on Twitch, but I haven't done it in years and years and years. I came back to Twitch a couple of days ago, yeah, but I'm back again now, okay? So there you go, that's your popcorn popping away. And to the right are the spices from my handcrafted dry curry paste kit. And let me just see, actually, did I hide something? No. Okay, none of these are showing up. Okay, but nonetheless, I'm gonna share the URL about my dry curry paste kits. Worldwide shipping is available, and you know, if you do order like overseas for overseas delivery, and I know the shipping can be a little bit like prohibitive because it's coming all the way from Australia. So I do have a discount code for you. You can just ping me. And I think it's World Ship 20 or something like that. I can't remember now. It knocks off a bit of like $20 off the shipping cost. Okay, just to kind of like cut through a little bit of the shipping, you know, charge for your benefit. Okay, at my cost, mind you. Okay, so this is what you do. You basically toss the popcorn through the spice mix. Okay. And I wasn't sure how much to use because I don't eat popcorn, you know. I don't know whether it should be more subtle, so I decided to be a little bit light-handed with this, okay. In hindsight, I could probably use more spice mix, okay. But I guess the idea with this exercise is just to kind of like stimulate like some, you know, creativity, and you know, make you think of other ways you can use these spice mixes, because remember, they've got all the seasoning built into them, right, including even MSG. I know that might not be a selling point, but you'd be surprised how much MSG is in your regular like chips and whatnot, okay. But I don't use much, if at all, okay. In fact, I don't use it directly. It actually is incidental in some of the stuff I use in these, okay. And the good thing about my spice kits is that I don't, like, obviously this is not factory manufactured. These are literally handcrafted. I make them batch by hand using a combination of different spices, and also drying some of the other spices. You saw some of the leaves and all that. I've got like curry leaves and kaffir lime leaves and whatever. Where I can, I get fresh versions of these and I dry them, dehydrate them myself, and then I add them to these spices, okay. So they're not, for all intents and purposes, you know, they're not mass manufactured, they're not ultra processed. At my end, I'm not saying that the dry spices that I get, you know, are not, you know, ultra processed. I can't say, okay, but I can certainly say that whatever I use, all these different spices, have been very minimally handled by me, okay. All I do is just create the blends, and voila, you know. And because they don't have oil and all that, you can decide. One of the questions I get asked a lot as someone who's cooked for a living for many years, a lot of, it's a very wide question, no offense, especially when I sell food at the markets. People are asking, what kind of oil do you use in your food? Okay, well, in my dry curry paste kits, I don't use any oil. Okay, you can pick and choose your own favorite types of oil and stay away from whatever you might be leery of. Okay, again, like I said, you know, some of the ingredients I use may have had oil in the processing, okay, like fried onions and that sort of stuff, but I personally do not add oil to them. Okay, so there you go. So that's the let me just pause this for a sec. That's the popcorn. Okay, let me just see if I can show you a clearer picture of it. Here you go. Okay, so mild rendang paste used as a spice mix for popcorn. Okay, and I guess if you think about it, you can use it in like trail mixes and that sort of stuff as well. Okay, it's just if you don't want all the lumpy bits, just blitz it in the blender for, you know, for a few seconds so that it's all evenly like fine and suitable for coating. Okay, so again, you can toss it through your trail mixes and all that as well. Popcorn is just one example of how to use it, right? Again, any questions, hit me up and I'll try and answer them. I'll try. If I don't say hello to you in the comments or whatever, it's because I'm live streaming this across multiple platforms, so I may not see. And also within these multiple platforms, you know, they are also dispersed among like different like Facebook groups and that sort of stuff. So I may not see your comments immediately, but even when if you do comment, even when I get a minute, I will go back and reply. Okay, so otherwise you can reach me on email as well, Jackie, Jackie, at jackiem.com.au. Don't forget the AU. Okay, let's continue with this. So the next thing we're going to try this for is spaghetti, pasta. Okay, so I had some spaghetti sitting around. There's a great meal prep idea actually. I wasn't truthfully all that convinced about this because it seemed a little bit boring. So I've just stuck a little bit of salt in a pot of water. Okay, that's for the pasta we're going to boil. And in the meantime, we're going to cook up a sauce for the pasta. Okay, and I don't know how much you guys cook pasta at home. If you're busy and whatever, truthfully, as someone who doesn't actually eat a lot of pasta, but when I do like a creamy pasta. Truthfully, I think this is you know, more flavorsome than a lot of pasta bases that you can get out there, and so much less work as well. Okay, so here we go. That's my some more. Again, all this is from the one pack of my mix here. So bit of that. Again, if you can hear stuff in the background, that's Noah creating a scene. Okay, so I've got the spice mix there. I'm going to add a little bit of water and turn that into a paste, like how the standard instruction is in these pastes. Okay, I'll tell you, basically you want to turn this into a paste by adding some water, and then you want to fry it up with a little bit of oil. Okay, and AI did tell me to use virgin olive oil in this, but I'm not, you know, again, you know, I was talking about how like people tend to ask me about what type of oil and stuff like that I use in my cooking. You know, I'm very Asian, okay, so I'm just using vegetable oil here. You can try it with virgin olive oil. You can, you know, I would also personally use like butter, okay, or ghee, which is clarified butter. But olive oil to me is a little bit overpowering. That's just me, and I didn't know if it was going to clash. Okay, so I just used regular oil here and just fried it up. And the idea with like my spice mixes, they've got onion and garlic and all that in them, right? And the idea is you want to fry them till they're aromatic, and that just takes a couple of minutes. For however long it takes to cook the pasta is essentially how long it takes you to fry up the spice mix. Okay, so don't forget to say hello, let me know where you're watching from. Okay, and someone actually commented on my previous live stream It's a great point. Okay, if you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/JackieM, JACKIEM, and yes, I do have a great YouTube handle because I've been around for so long. And back in the day, I was, you know, because of my traction on Google Plus, which is owned by YouTube, they basically gave me a really nice YouTube handle that's easy to remember, which is JackieM.com. YouTube.com/JackieM. Okay, but if you go there and look at my second most recent video, the most recent would be this one here. The comment there was this person, because I was talking about how to program your cookie dough for those of you who own a Thermomix, right? And they told me there's actually an easier way to do it. So go and have a look at their comment and learn from that. For those of you who care about Thermomixes and cookie dough and programming and auto cooking and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, back to this, right? So like I said, you know, this is all cooked in real time, even though it's a pre-recording, because it's late here at my end now, and I don't really want to be cooking live here and then having to clean up when everyone's gone to bed, okay, and all that. But the idea with any of my spice paste is that you reconstitute it with some water, add a bit of oil, and fry it till the oil separates, okay. That basically tells you that the spice paste is ready, fully aromatic and whatnot, okay. So the pasta is cooking away, and the paste is really ready by this stage, okay. And the other thing you want to use here is coconut milk. I'm using coconut cream. You can use coconut milk, and if you don't have either, you can use just regular cream, okay. And in fact, you could even use evaporated milk, okay, if you want a healthier version. But in any case, I'm going to be using some coconut cream. And by the way, I'm making this like a plain sauce, okay, and I actually thought it would be a little bit boring, but you know what, I really like this dish. So coconut cream here, again, you can use coconut milk, you can use cream, you can use evaporated milk, whatever else, okay. And you could actually add, I was thinking after I cooked it up, I was thinking you could actually add things like mushrooms and your choice of protein in there as well. Seafood might work really well in this as well, okay. So this is the sauce. It is a little bit thick because with cooking this on the fly, it's my first time ever doing this sort of stuff with my own curry paste, because I'm very precious about my curry paste and the whole notion about using them the way they were designed, okay. So this is a little bit outside my wheelhouse, so to speak, but nonetheless, you see this is quite thick, you know. It's good in the sense that it helps to coat the pasta really well, okay. But I was thinking in hindsight, I could probably add a little bit of water to the sauce, but it does taste really, really good. But if you had mushrooms or you had like protein or whatever else in this, it would be even like mega good, okay. And you can make a batch of this, keep it in the fridge, and then just toss in some cooked pasta as well, or cooked noodles, okay. So that would be a good weeknight dinner for you, okay. And what I did just to finish this off was I actually sprinkled some Parmesan cheese over it, okay. Optional, totally optional. And I also had some Asian herbs that I tossed through it, again optional. You can use regular, like, you know, basil and all that, but I so happen to have like a bunch of like different types of herbs, just actually left over from our lunch today, truthfully. I just kind of like sprinkle over it and just tossed it through, okay. So some herbs would be nice in this, okay. They don't have to be Asian, okay. This is a very rich and very like flavorsome pasta sauce, and truthfully, you don't really need anything added to it. Like I said, I love mushrooms, so if you've got some mushrooms to throw in, that would make it really, really good, okay. You see what I mean about this being quite thick, okay? But the flavor is there. The flavor is amazing. But if you want it a little bit more saucy, you can add some water and toss it through just to loosen things up a little bit. So those are the leftover herbs I've got lying around, some Vietnamese mint, some Thai basil, and that sort of stuff, okay? They don't have to be Asian. Like I said, I'm just very Asian in my diet and all that. That's basically what I've got lying around, okay? I did have some Parmesan, which obviously is not Asian, but I chucked some in as well, okay? And again, don't forget to say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. And if I don't respond to you, that's not because I'm not live. I am. It's just that I'd rather focus on what I'm doing right now, and I'll go back and answer any questions you have. But again, you can always reach me at, Jackie@jackiem.com.au. So there you go. That's what that looks like. Let me just pause this quickly and let me just show you. Okay, so this is the photo I took out in on our balcony after I cooked that up. My goodness, it's good. Okay, so you see what I mean about the torn label, okay? Because I'm so cheap, like I've got zero budget here, that I decided to use that wonky pack of rendang paste instead of having to replace the packaging, okay? Because the pouches cost money, the labels cost money. Okay, so finally, this is what I'm going to do, and this is the recipe that that was suggested by AI, and then I Googled a recipe along those lines, and I found a lot of search results. Okay, basically spiced baked potato. Came across this one that was English from memory, and it looked as though AI had basically just copy pasted their version for me without attribution. Okay, if you caught my previous broadcast talking about AI, I mentioned that Perplexity actually gives you the sources of like the recipes it cooks up. Okay, it suggests, but ChatGPT does not, and this was from ChatGPT. Nonetheless, okay, I did tweak it, so to some extent I do take ownership of this, but the original recipe called for potatoes. I decided to use sweet potato because I like sweet potato a lot, right? And also I don't really have any potatoes to spare. Okay, so the idea is that you're meant to cook the potatoes into, it said 2 centimeter chunks, right? So I did cut this a bit smaller to fit into the scope of the recipe, and I've got the spices over there, and the idea is for you to basically bake this to produce a crispy potato bake, okay? That's spice flavored, and the spices in the original blog called for stuff that are not too dissimilar to what's in my spice paste, okay? So cumin, and I forget what not now. I saw cumin and I thought that's it. We're tracking the same, except mine has already got all the flavors and all the seasonings, so you don't have to add all these spices individually, and you don't have to add salt and pepper and whatnot, okay? So it's got everything built into it. So I'm cutting up the sweet potato, and you notice I have not peeled it. Okay, I don't usually peel a lot of my root vegetables because I think the nutrition is there, and I don't think they actually get in the way, and I think peeling is just an added step that's not necessary. Now this particular recipe did call for extra virgin olive oil, and so I ran with it. Okay, maybe in hindsight I would probably use butter or ghee, okay, but yeah. We bought that bottle of extra virgin olive oil for a Thermomix demo a week or two ago, but I don't usually have it in my pantry, but since I thought I've got a big bottle here in my pantry and I need to use it up and the recipe calls for it, let's go with it, right? So the idea is toss it through extra virgin olive oil coated spice mix, right? Which in this case is my mild rendang paste mix, okay? So even if you don't have my curry paste, and by the way, again, just to reiterate, I'm using the mild rendang paste simply because that pack was damaged and I didn't want to throw it out or replace the packaging because I'm cheap that way. But obviously you can do the same with my laksa paste kit. You can do the same with my hot rendang paste, with my meat curry paste, even with my sambal belacan paste. I think all of them will produce unique and very, very compelling flavors, okay? And here you go. So I'm just tossing it through, and now I'm going to actually place it on a tray. And you see that plastic that I'm using? That's actually a specially designed plastic tray liner. Okay, I cut it open. That's why it looks a little bit different. This particular plastic tray liner can withstand heat up to 205 degrees Celsius. Okay, These are actually used by caterers. I used to have a restaurant, for those of you who don't know. Like, I closed it 12 years ago when Noah, my special needs child, came along, and I was told I had to give up everything, and I did. But these pans used to be commercially available, and they weren't cheap, right? They're like Aussie, like $1 something per sheet, okay? But the point of these pans is that, you know, it saves you from having to scrub your pan, okay? They're temperature safe and all that. Now, at this point, I'm going to stop this. Am I? Okay, no. I need to point out, if you think there's anything different between what we stuck in the oven and the result, which is when it came out of the oven, if you think it looks suspiciously different, that's because it is. What we did was, I did that first batch, right? Stuck it in the oven per what the recipe called for. Remember I said these sheets can withstand heat up to 205 degrees. The recipe actually said to stick it in the oven at 225 degrees. I pulled it down to 200 degrees and cooked it for 35 minutes, like what the recipe said. We went out to pick up Noah from school, came back, and it had burnt. Okay, that's why I'm a little bit leery about mentioning the website I pulled that recipe from via ChatGPT. Okay, so but the point is that I then had to make a separate second batch. I didn't record the second batch because the steps are still the same, okay? Except I cut them into bigger chunks this time, and instead of baking it for 35 minutes, I baked it for 20 minutes. And instead of baking at 225 degrees / 200 degrees, you know, I actually baked it at only 150 degrees in a fan forced oven. Okay, so these are the differences, the changes I made. And this is what resulted from it. And I think Paul actually ate a piece, so I'm going to bring Paul over and ask him what he thinks. Okay, so there you go. It's quite flavoursome. It is obviously a side dish, and it is something that you can think about if you want to, you know, have something a little bit different to, instead of your regular roast potato. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, let me just close this up, go back to my front camera. Okay, so the link is shop.jackieyum.com.au, and I want you, if you're interested, to check out the products, again available worldwide, the dry curry paste. Okay, I want you to answer the question. Answer the question, which was my favorite of the 3 dishes that we made. Okay, and the answer is spaghetti. Okay, so if you can answer that question when you place your order, I'll throw in a special gift. Okay, there is a minimum order. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to waste my quota of special gifts just for you to buy 1 pack from me. Okay, so there is a minimum order, but you know, most people buy from me. If you want to save on shipping and all that, you do have to order, like, you know, a certain amount anyway. But anyway, so you know the answer. When next time you place an order, just place a comment there, and I will give you a special gift. And the special gift will be a pack of sambal belacan. Okay, this is actually, you know, it looks quite boring here, but this, especially if you've got a Thermomix, the great thing is actually made with dried onion. I can make some with pre-fried onion as well. Same thing, but pre-fried. Doesn't actually contain any additives like cornstarch or anything like some of the fried onion that, you know, you get at the shops might do. Okay, but I can make a separate batch with pre-fried onion so that you don't have to be frying the onion. If you have this, right, that's actually with dried onion, it does, full disclosure, require you to fry this for a good 20 minutes, or in the Thermomix 30-45 minutes, okay, at 120 degrees. But it produces a beautiful, in my opinion, beautiful flavored sambal belacan. Okay, but yeah, so if you order a set of 5 of these different types of pastes and mention what my favorite of the 3 recipes we covered today was, I will throw in an extra pack here of sambal belacan for you. Okay, okay, so like I said earlier, I do have a full schedule of live streams, all except one of which this week are free for you to watch. Okay, so you can watch it. It's open to the public. There's one which is specifically for my Malaysian Street Food Academy students, and that's on Rempah Masterclass. Okay, and that's coming up this Saturday. And that's a private session because these people pay me to learn how to cook online. If you're interested in that, you just want to sign up to the waiting list, and I will, once I get a spare minute, reopen the enrollments for that. But yeah, apart from that, if you've got any other questions at all, make sure you hit me up and let me know. Thank you very much everyone for tuning in. I always enjoy going live. It used to be my bread and butter when I first started on, when I had my restaurant. I used to be actually quite active on Twitter, but subsequent to that, I became, when Noah was in hospital when he was born, I was actually approached by Google Australia to consider live streaming cooking. Okay, and that's the sort of stuff that I do have a very soft spot for live streaming. That's I do quite enjoy it. But anyway, thanks again everyone for joining me, and I shall see you next time, which I think is tomorrow. Okay, so I hope you can join me then, and I'll see you next time. Thanks guys.